So you're running out of closet space. The good news? You don't need to stop shopping. You just need to start selling with The RealReal. The RealReal is the world's largest and most trusted resource for authenticated luxury resale. Whether it's that mini bag that can't even fit your phone, or those boots you never fully broke in, The RealReal handles everything from photography and copywriting to shipping and pricing. So you can just sit back, get paid, and make room for things that actually feel like you. And with 10,000 plus new arrivals every single day from top designers like Prada, Celine, Louis Vuitton, and Loewe, all for up to 90% off retail, you're bound to find something perfectly on brand to fill that extra closet space with. Plus, right now, you can get an extra $100 to shop when you sell for the first time. Make room for what feels like you. Go to therealreal.com to start selling and get your extra $100 to keep shopping at therealreal.com. That's therealreal.com. Terms apply.
What is going on? You are listening to Tags Podcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex Podcast. This is episode 744. I am your host, Steve V, alongside Jeremy Ross Lopez. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm really well. How are you?
Very good. Thank you so much. And of course, rounding out our equation, the lovely, talented Cody Maurice Doggett. How the hell are you doing, Cody?
Hello, darling. Doing wonderful.
Nice. Well, let's get into our talk today because it all stemmed from a TV show, The Beauty. I don't know if you guys watched it. I know you tried starting to watch it, Jeremy.
Yeah, I watched some of it. I didn't love it, but yeah.
Well, and a disturbing article that talks about a trend online called looksmaxxing has young men literally hitting, and I mean hitting like with a hammer, their faces with hammers to reshape their bone structure in hopes of becoming more attractive. And then meanwhile, the new show Affects the Beauty imagines a virus that makes people physically perfect but kills them, which raises an uncomfortable question for us gay men in a community where we celebrate youth, perfection. How are we willing to go and feel desirable? And what happens when aging inevitably enters the chat? And then I was reading another article today about a man that works in the entertainment industry and talks about, well, we see a lot of gay representation, man-on-man action. If we don't see a lot of 50 plus, and he pitched an idea of a TV show, and his friend who works in the industry said, "Oh no, it's cringy." And the topics that were inside his storyline, and the guy went back and looked at it. He's like, "What's cringy about it?" I mean, there was nothing really other than it was men in their 50s, a 50-year-old who's single and looking for love and is out there on the dating scene and sex scene. And that got cringe. And all of this got us thinking about this, where do we fit in with looksmaxxing, the beauty, and then this article. And what is looksmaxxing? It's a term just to describe, the key points are basically maximize your attractiveness through analysis of facial structure. Soft maxing is things like gym, skincare, grooming. Hard maxing would be more surgery, steroids, extreme procedures.
What the fuck?
Yes, exactly. And the extreme fringe even promotes self-harming techniques like bone smashing. And when I was reading that first article, there's certain TikTok people out there, one in particular, a model that really, he has a hammer and he talks about how he uses these techniques and how that's the only way you're going to get women. And it's really like dangerous, obviously, for so many reasons. But
is it that clavicular guy?
He goes, I could get his name for you in a second, but
Okay.
What did you call his name?
Clavicular.
Yes. How did you know? You've heard of him.
Because I've heard of this before. Yeah. And you know what? I'm laughing. This is not funny, but Jeremy's
like clavicle,
response. Right? Yeah. Jeremy's response is taking me out. So that's why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing because this is funny. I'm
like, holy, I said I've never heard of it. So I'm kind of like in awe, like shock.
Yes, it's a trend, and it can go down a super dark path because it's basically to straight men, it can send you down a path of if you don't look a certain way, you're never going to get the women and you're better off taking your life. I mean, that's how dark it can go. And then, yeah. And so, but the question kind of remains, do gay men looksmaxx to a certain degree more than straight men? This article was featured more towards straight men, but Jeremy, do you think we looksmaxx based on what you understand of the term to a certain degree in our community?
I mean, I would say we try and do our best with what we've been given and then enhance that, but not by like breaking bones and things. I would say like in gay culture, a lot of men take care of themselves as far as wearing sunblock, taking care of their skin.
Gym.
Going to the gym, working out, trying to eat decently or at least certain things in moderation. I would say the only thing that I've noticed a lot of men have done, at least in recent years, it seems like getting hair plugs or going to travel to do that, just because hair growth is like important to a lot of guys. And I would say that, and then maybe like fillers and botox and stuff, but those kinds of things have been around. It's just, I think they're more common now than they used to be. But I just think people taking it way too seriously like this and making it dangerous is really stupid and just unbelievable. Like, that's why I had that reaction.
Yeah. And, Cody, you were saying breaking bones, but in the straight community, I mean, there was they were talking in this article about a guy that said if he doesn't, by the time he's 18, get to 6 feet tall, he doesn't want to live. And because in his mind, 6 foot and beyond is considered attractive for him to land the girl. I mean, I think in our own community, we're, two men, we see all kinds of heights and we embrace it a little bit more. But do you think that looksmaxxing is prevalent within the gay community more than the straight men?
I mean, okay, so the simple answer is yes, because I feel like it's very prevalent for people in general to want to take care of themselves, to go to the gym, to want to put their best foot forward. Why are we renaming beautification and health and wellness to looksmaxxing? This is just kind of ridiculous to me that this is even coming to the forefront. I've been hearing a lot about it. I've heard about it. I don't know. I don't looksmaxx. I go to the gym to take care of myself, to look better. And if the Gen Z or whoever is coining this phrase wants to call it looksmaxxing, then it's looksmaxxing. I don't have any energy to expend to this because I honestly don't get it. And who wants to break the bones in their face? That sounds awful. And how do you make sure that it gets back to a space where you're happy? I don't understand it. I don't get it. And the guy that wants to not live if he doesn't make it to 6 feet, that he needs some therapy. Somebody needs to. Well, he should probably go see somebody and reevaluate things. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. And then if in the show The Beauty, which I finished season 1, which is I really liked it, but it's kind of dark. In The Beauty, people become perfectly attractive overnight, but it eventually kills them and if you want, I don't want to give away too much. Did you watch it, Cody?
Yeah, I think I have 1 or 2 more episodes left.
Okay, it's dark, right?
Yeah, it is. I have to be in the right mood to watch stuff like that. So,
it does bring up right. It does bring up the question because it's Ashton Kutcher's character that introduces a pill. If you could take a pill that made you hotter, younger, and more desirable, but it shortened your life, would you, Jeremy?
No.
Oh.
I feel like that takes it too far, and I feel like Ryan Murphy gets carried away sometimes with just some of his plot or his fiction that he creates, and I do love his creativity, but sometimes it does get carried away, like the people blowing up and dying after being perfect. I don't love the messaging, and I don't know, it's just not a storyline that I enjoy to follow.
Well, but I mean, is it really that far of a stretch? I mean, I think what I do like about this, and I think I was telling you offline before, where, he does take a lot, Ryan Murphy takes a lot of artistic license when he's talking about real life storylines like the Menendez brothers, or right now there's the RFK Jr. Love story where people are like, wait, did it really happen that way?
Not RFK. Please don't put that
Yeah,
man in
thank you. Thank you for that correction. I know, not at all the same person. And I think he does. This one really is more on his American Horror Story. But is it, Cody, really going that far when I just read you something that really is happening? People are going to extreme measures like looksmaxxing. And I think he's just taking like artistic license, but really showing how far and extreme people will go.
Yeah, I think it's out there. So it may not be that far fetched. You know what? And Jeremy said no really quick. And I was like, I'm still thinking about it. I don't know how much time are we talking here is getting taken off of my life. So I don't to not have to work, because they didn't have to work out in that show. All they had to do was just they stayed that way. It's hard to maintain all that we have to maintain.
Well, I guess it also does. I guess if I did think about it, it does pose the question because of the fact that we all have a lot of people have taken pills and injections to lose weight without having to work out a ton. So I guess it probably is close to realistic. But
that was going to be my question, Jeremy. Are things like Botox, fillers, steroids, Ozempic, hair transplants real life versions?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would say that those are kind of preventative, but then also help in the same way.
Yeah, the difference between a lot of these things, I think, is the way I see it is evolution, science. Hopefully there are things out there that can help us live longer. I mean, if you looked back in the day, life expectancy was, if you were 40, you were already considered old, and 50 was just like, and the reason now 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s doesn't feel like before is because of science and evolution, right? We now know better diets. We have better supplements. We can look better for things like Botox, fillers. Ozempic was created for one thing, diabetes, but then it's been shown to help people lose weight, which gets them, obviously the less weight you have, the healthier you are. And so I think some of these are like science and good, and just to help us, change the perspective of what it means to be 50, 60, 70, and as we get older, and they're good. But I think then it's at what point, and everybody has to make that decision for themselves, does it teeter over going too far? I mean, those things that I mentioned have all been scientifically studied, Ozempic, Botox, and yes, there are, if you watch any of those commercials, they read you the fine print afterwards, but a lot of them, the side effects are, not that bad. For things like breaking bones and things like if you could take a pill in that show, Cody, they don't really, people are just taking this pill without asking the pertinent questions. What will this actually mean?
Yeah. And, I think that also emanates into real life. I feel like sometimes people don't really look at the long-term effects of things like that. So, yeah.
And there's been people, Cardi B has gone on record saying that, if she could take away some of her ass, because now she's on tour carrying, and she's admitted to, enhancing her buttocks, if you will. And
I think that she is taking away some of the ass after the tour's done.
Yeah. And, I think a lot of people think it looks a certain aesthetic, it looks good, but at what point? Jeremy, if I could ask you the question, in our culture, when was the first time you realized that looks mattered when it came to like gay dating?
In New York City, and specifically after graduating, that's when I realized just gay culture in general and noticed like what looks and how masculinity plays a factor into like what type of guys you attract with how you look.
Yeah, and Cody, I mean, body pressure in the clubs. We were out at the club the other day. Shirts are off. The apps, places like Fire Island, PV, circuit culture. Is there body pressure in the gay community with these things I just mentioned?
Oh, for sure. Yesterday in the club, I didn't even want to take my shirt, what little shirt I had on. I didn't want
You're
to take it
right.
off.
Cropped up.
Right? I didn't want to take it off because I ate pizza and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel a little bloated, so I'm not going to take my shirt off.
Oh,
I
Lord.
eventually,
I
I
know.
know, stop. But it's pressure and it's real. Eventually, it did come off because who cares at the end of the day? But yeah, it's always there. I feel it's very prevalent. I feel like for me, I noticed very early on, you know, what being attractive could get you. I know one of my first memories is when I was a little kid, some lady stopping my mom and telling her how cute I was. And that is, that it puts an impression on you to always want to uphold that level of quote unquote attractiveness. I don't know if as a little kid you are looking at it like attractiveness, but you always want to be cute, basically.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And then there's the aging out fear that many gay men talk about. Gay men often feel like their expiration date is 40 or, I'm way past that. I don't feel that at all, but I do partake in a lot of, gym for sure. I've done Botox before. I was just at the New York Eagle talking to a friend of mine, and I was saying, gosh, you look really good in your photos, and because he's really leaned down. He's like, oh, thanks, but I'm doing this other thing now where it's really going to lose the fat even more. And I mean, it sounds so shallow, the conversation we were having, but we were just sharing our personal, at our age kind of storyline. And I mean, we definitely want to look our best. He's an actor, so of course he wants to always look his best. And I've kind of been in that culture, putting myself out there for years. And so I always want to look my best. I think all of this stuff can be healthy to have doses of this, but it can go to an extreme effect. And I think that's what that show, The Beauty, really does, is show the extreme, or looksmaxxing can do to young, impressionable minds, especially if you grow up where all you learned were following people online. I mean, I think with my friend and I, we have years and years of, we didn't grow up on the apps, and so we have a little bit healthier balance of it. But I mean, the article suggests social media and swipe culture amplify beauty competition because people are compared instantly to thousands of others. Jeremy asked the question, are apps turning dating into a visual competition?
Oh, definitely. I think just in general, social media as a whole easily helps you like go into a rabbit hole of comparing everything you have and everything you are and everything you look like to other people and looks that aren't necessarily attainable, and a lot of filters and a lot of editing, and I think just not normal ideals or aspirations.
Yeah.
Say.
Absolutely. And you almost have to be your own filter, Cody, because I've done this before. If you go down a certain path looking up, liking one type of picture, all of a sudden that's all you see. And that sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it can just go down a comparison analysis of you and all these people that you're seeing on the apps.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like for me, I make sure that I vary the types of posts that I like because once you're inundated with all of those like quote unquote perfect bodies, I feel like then it really does a number on your head. So, I make sure I cross pollinate with things like positive thoughts. I have a lot of cooking on my Instagram. It's bad late at night when you when you don't want to eat late at night but you see all this food and it's like, oh my goodness, I want some chicken. Let's go.
I know. Right now, mine shows me, because Diego and I cook so much, so I get a lot of recipes. Often they're like healthier ones, but I don't mind that because it gives me inspiration. Do I want to try this or not? And then on my Twitter, I was glad because I think my lower back was giving me issues, and I started looking up lower back exercises, and it was porn before. Like if I went on Twitter, it was all consuming porn. And now I'm glad because now it's like back exercises, morning stretches, do this,
Nice.
and take a break. And I'm like, okay, this is, redundant. And I'm like, I feel like I've solved my lower back issues, but at least it's not endless porn and going down that rabbit hole. So I kind of, I challenge. It definitely does. It just, going down a rabbit hole sometimes. Yeah. I mean, I think that confidence versus perfection is something to kind of question. What actually makes someone attractive long term? Have your tastes changed as you've gotten older, Jeremy?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like I definitely have a type, and I've kind of stuck to that type, and what I'm into and just what I'm attracted to has kind of been similar through all the years, I would say.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. How about you, Cody? Has yours changed? What actually makes someone attractive long term?
Long term? Oh, definitely. As I have been in relationships, you learn what works for you as far as long term is considered. Short term too, like what immediately attracts me to somebody is changed throughout the years. Of course, it has to. I'm changing, so, and I feel like what I liked back then was more of what I was, and what I like now is still more of what I am and what I'm trying to put out there and exude into the world. So yeah,
I like it. And then let's just do a fun lightning round, fun thing. If there was one thing you would looksmaxx, if it were free and safe, what would it be? I'll start first. If there's one thing I would looksmaxx, maybe I'm about 5'10" and a half. I would make myself a 6'1". That would be mine if I could. Yeah, just shy of the perfect model height, 6'2", but just above 6 foot. Like, girl, I'm not 5'11", I'm 6'1". So that would be one if it were free and safe. Jeremy, go.
I would say hair, because I've always wanted that silky, coiffed, like gorgeous, like thick head of hair, and I just do not have that. I mean, I have decent hair.
You do.
It's definitely kinky, but I would love to have, like, I've always wanted, if I could change anything, to have like gorgeous, really silky, like coif over to the side type of hair.
Okay, I like that one. Cody?
Well, mine is hair too, but I just want any kind of hair on top of my head. I'll take what Jeremy's got. I'll take anything. Just give me some hair, please. So yeah, that would be it for me. I think I might actually go to Turkey though too, where save me some coins, because I have dreams about hair.
It came out really good. Mateo did it.
Oh yeah, he looks great.
Yeah. And
who did it?
Well, Mateo Lane. The comedian.
Yeah, so we love him. Okay, yeah. But I've seen some bad ones too. So, you got to go to the right person. Ask him, who did Mateo go to?
I don't know. Let me call him.
One beauty trend you refuse to do. Gosh, let me think about that one. One beauty trend I refuse to do. Probably, like, I've done filler. Or excuse me, I've done Botox, but I wouldn't do filler because I think it makes you look bloated, and I wouldn't do that one for sure. I would just leave it alone. And I take care of my skin. I've always worn SPF, and I think, I do scrubs and all that good stuff. So that would be mine. Jeremy, one beauty trend you refuse to do.
I would actually say dyeing your hair. I really...
come on now.
No, I'm saying when they dye their beard, when they dye their head, it looks so obvious, and I've just noticed it in our community and just in general. Like, barbers do it, and it looks ridiculous, and so I'm still on that hair train. yeah,
Drag me, honey. Drag me.
I mean, I get it too. Like some people
just
don't.
you can spot it from a mile away, and I really like salt and pepper, and I think it looks great on men. The age that salt and pepper has with it, and so I don't like dyed hair.
Here's my thing with I do dye my hair because when I look at what I actually have, the white that comes through, it's not gonna be like a nice salt and pepper. You know how you've seen that George Clooney look when he was maybe 15 years ago, when it was like, it's like a really nice mix of salt and pepper. Mine's just strands of white here and there, and to me it's just like so I just color that shit out. I'm like, no thank you ma'am, I'm not doing that. The sides are harder though, because if you get a fade, that's what comes back first, and I'll let that show a little bit for a while. But I agree, and you have to be kind of careful. A hairstylist once told me, don't go for the jet black. Just use, like, my hair really is jet black, but what I do is, a hairstylist said once, go for like the dark brown, and so then it fills in that, but it's not like Liberace black. Yeah, right. So, and I think if you're brown hair, you really have to be careful with that, because some of those browns can look so fake. And so that's my tip on that. Cody, one beauty trend you refuse to do.
I don't know. I think I'm down to try it all. As long as it's safe, as long as it's not, I'm not smashing my face with a hammer. That is not happening.
Okay, yeah, not a beauty trend, but a trend in certain communities. Have you ever dated someone way hotter than you? Let me ask myself that question. Way hotter than me? I don't know that. Have I ever dated? I felt like I've dated some very attractive men, but I don't know that they were way hotter than me. I think I would say no. Jeremy?
I would say no also, but I feel like I don't date people that look like me, so I feel like they're just not a comparison really, and I'm attracted to someone that looks totally different than me. So I would say no also.
Yeah, I fall under that too. I'm attracted to people that don't look like me myself too. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Cody?
Yeah, all of that is a construct. It's all made up, and it's per person. So yes, I've not dated anyone way more attractive than me, because you know what? We're all beautiful.
We are all beautiful. I love that. Good ending on that. Very.
And I am Miss Kansas. No, I'm not. I'm Miss New York.
Writing for exactly. Good, well curated answer. You're media trained over there, Cody. Tonight we're talking about the pressure to be perfect, but connection doesn't come from perfection. It comes from presence, authenticity, and confidence. Attraction isn't just about jawlines and abs. It's about energy, curiosity, and the courage to show up as yourself. If you're ready to build real connection, not just chase approval, check out my app, Connect and Confidence. Go to studio.com/SteveV/connect. That's studio.com/Steve V.
So you're running out of closet space. The good news? You don't need to stop shopping. You just need to start selling with The Real Real. The Real Real is the world's largest and most trusted resource for authenticated luxury resale. Whether it's that mini bag that can't even fit your phone, or those boots you never fully broke in, The Real Real handles everything from photography and copywriting to shipping and pricing. So you can just sit back, get paid, and make room for things that actually feel like you. And with 10,000 plus new arrivals every single day from top designers like Prada, Celine, Louis Vuitton, and Loewe, all for up to 90% off retail, you're bound to find something perfectly on brand to fill that extra closet space with. Plus, right now, you can get an extra $100 to shop when you sell for the first time. Make room for what feels like you. Go to therealreal.com to start selling and get your extra $100 to keep shopping at therealreal.com. That's therealreal.com. Terms apply.
/connect. Nice. Okay, let's move on to some hot topics. And there was a recent uh, article that came out about the queer bedroom revolution. I'm not sure if it's a revolution, it's just kind of what we're seeing now. 5 sexual wellness trends to know about. And it all comes in a new 2026 time looking at our sexual health and wellness. Quick hookups can be fun and exciting, but so is getting prep and the security needed to fully enjoy the experience. And across our community, especially among adults in their 30s and 40s and beyond, sexual wellness is evolving. People are thinking about intimacy in a more balanced way, blending health, pleasure, emotional connection, and curiosity. And that's why I do think when people ask that question, would you live in a different time, and or do you like the time we're living in? And there's a lot of reasons to say check out of our current time period, but there's a lot of things to celebrate too, and one of them is our sexual wellness. And the 5 things that are really showing up for our community when it comes to sexual wellness are things like prep, that's been around now for several years but is now widely accepted. I mean, I'm so comfortable. I remember when we started the show, some people were starting to take it, but it was still a little controversial. And, now everybody, there's commercials on it. Straight people know about it. I had my 5-year colonoscopy, and the doctor asked, he's a specialist, asked me what medications you're on. I said, prep. He said, Truvada, got it. And it was just like a no brainer, nothing, you just talk about it, and where it didn't always have that. That's really good. We'll list a few more, then we'll discuss. Sex tech is having a major moment, technology transforming the way people experience intimacy and the toy industry. And when Harry Styles, of all people, just came out with his own intimacy line, we know it's becoming really popular. Things like remote controlled toys, app controlled devices. Then we've got the slow sex movement. So that's really talking about things like tantra and taking your time. And people are actually telling that as a actual way to approach your hookups. Take your time. Prostate health and pleasure. How enjoyable the prostate is for men, but also getting it checked. Cody, we just had Mama Tits on the show where
That's right.
she talked about stage 4 of prostate cancer, and thank goodness she's in treatment, but get that checked is her messaging. And then solo sex as self-care, having different toys and stress relief, better sleep. I mean, Dr. Goldstein is at the forefront of talking about enjoying our, so it's part of, he normalizes the conversation. So when you hear these trends, Jeremy, what do you say that we're in 2026, we're so much more comfortable about talking about all of this?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I feel like they're all relevant things that we are good to discuss and are like healthy topics to talk about in your relationship with your friends, like just in general.
Absolutely. I mean, Cody, we've been doing this now for years on this show, but the conversation is normalized with not just within our community, but with your family, with friends, sharing your health updates and seeing all of this. It does make it seem like it's a good time to be alive if you're gay.
Yeah, definitely. There's been so many advances. I can't imagine living in any other time, and I'm so happy that there's so much out there and readily available to us. And the knowledge is out there too, because my own mother was like, she said something yesterday, and I was like, where did you even learn that from? And she said, I watch TV. I know things, and I was like,
Grindr is a household term these days.
I'm like, what? Who are you? I don't know you, lady. So I'm gonna go.
I love that.
It was great. Yeah,
I
no, it
love
was
that about
fantastic.
your mom.
Yeah, and she wants to know. So
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
good.
we
It's a
couldn't
good
have
thing.
these conversations even in the early 2000s. I mean, you would never have these conversations. And that just made it for any of us in the community to suppress that, because I think we interpret it as shame, or we have to hide that side of ourselves. And now it's just good that trends are up with sexual wellness and covering a whole host of toys. And I mean, Harry Styles coming out with his, and he's, open about his sexuality. So I think it's really good. There's a new study that explores the impact of Grindr on gay men when they go on vacation or holiday. Specifically, it wanted to look at whether dating apps such as Grindr have changed the way gay guys and male couples enjoy their leisure time when on holiday. And researchers at the University of Surrey in England carried out the study recently and published it. It was small, but basically it highlights that geolocation apps have helped men to explore intimacy whilst abroad. And some of the things on the way it's helping, and they really emphasize that if you're not using the current technology, you're really missing out on potentially your experience when you travel. Gay couples are more likely to seek a threesome whilst on holiday because there's less risk of emotional entanglement or ties compared to the risk of threesomes with someone back home. Some monogamish couples treat extracurricular sex with a third as a holiday treat. Having threesomes privately on vacation also spares them the risk of others judging them at home. Sex on vacation is often far more instantaneous than at home. There's no time for protracted chit-chat on the app. Grindr use is not just for sex, but for authentic intimacies and connections. And I would add, too, that Grindr does have a feature, not that we're promoting them, but a lot of them do, where if you know you're going to go to a certain holiday country, you can project ahead and get to know people ahead of time. And often I think I've used it before where maybe it's a city that I don't know very well, but I want to know what's the spot to go out and like, where are you as, a fellow gay man going out versus me just reading something online. And maybe, hey, would you want to meet for a hookup? Or would you actually just, can I meet you for a drink? And I think we're using it in a good way for that. What do you think of this, Jeremy, of using things like Grindr for travel?
I mean, I think it honestly makes sense. It also, when you're in any of the places that you travel to and it's not well known, like getting around what places there are to go. I feel like, especially if you go somewhere where there is gay culture, but you're not aware of like specifics about it and like where it's open or like accepted and things like that, it's definitely really helpful. And then, as we've talked about before, like it's just so much easier to chat with people than have it be out in public, at least to start, like to meet people and ask them about what's going on, or you know what I mean? Like,
word of mouth is like the strongest form of promotion. It's
Exactly.
the oldest way. And if you can add tech involved with it, in this case, like Grindr, we get on this show all the time. I get DMs from people that, because I talk so much about Puerto Vallarta, hey, I'm going to Puerto Vallarta. Where would you recommend going out? And I should probably have like a folder. But I can rattle it off.
PDF.
I can totally. I should just put it to make it all look, use Kava and make it look really nice and glossy. But I can rattle off a bunch of stuff and curate. Yeah. And depending on who's asking me, if it's more of, they want to go to more the sexual side of PV, I can lead them towards that. If they're looking for restaurant scenes, but they want some of the gay culture, I can go down that path. And I think it's really helpful. And people have asked me about New York here too, where we're coming to New York. I know you guys are out. Where would I get a more BDSM experience, or where this or that? And I just think, word of mouth is the strongest form of promotion. What do you say to this? Using apps, Cody, to travel.
I love it. Anything that can bring our community closer together. This is a good thing to me. Grindr, all those apps, they're all tools, and you utilize them how you utilize them. If it's for friends, if it's for hooking up, if it's for anything. Tourist recommendations, all those things are valid, so use them to the fullest extent.
Love it. Well, love being in New York right now because our current mayor, who I'm currently enjoying as he's good to look at, but Mayor Mamdani appointed a trans woman to run the first ever NYC Office of LGBTQI plus Affairs. Appointed by Mamdani to run the office, Taylor Brown becomes the first transgender person in history to lead a New York City office or agency. And he really said in a statement, New York City is proud of its LGBTQIA plus community and will refuse to deny healthcare, safety, or dignity to anyone on the basis of their identity. And with Taylor Brown as director of this new Office of LGBTQIA Affairs, the city's queer community will not only be celebrated, but protected at every turn. New York has given me everything: life-saving healthcare, education, a home, a career, my chosen family, and a life of purpose. I'm so proud to serve this position. And I love that. And I think that Mamdani is really saying, Jeremy, that he wants New York City to be a sanctuary city for people that come here on travel to feel safe and represented. What do you say to this new office and appointing Taylor Brown?
I think it's much needed and it's great. I love to see that. And especially when things are happening like flags being taken down and
Yes.
an authority trying to change the way that New Yorkers know and visitors know it is and the culture that it has. I love it.
This is when young politicians make sense, that young politicians like Mamdani make sense to me because they grew up in a time where Cody, LGBTQ was just part of the landscape, and they're willing to put, when everybody else is ignoring transgender and their rights, and what you and I went to get that flag back up at Stonewall Monument, why I think a young politician matters.
Oh yeah, it's you know what? That's why representation is so amazing, especially on TV and out in the world in general, because like you said, the younger generation, it's normalized for them. We as people are not on the fringe of things, and we're not being like ousted or outcast or put to the side. So it normalizes things. I'm really actually surprised that there hasn't been a transgender person in office in New York previous, but I'm glad it's happened now. So hats off to Mamdani. I think he's doing a great job so far, but it's been a little while, so he's still got some things to do, I think.
Absolutely. The Oscars were last night, and as we record this on Monday, and let's just talk fashion because we've got our fashion expert Jeremy on the show. And I sent a link, I put it in our chat, but I also sent it to you separately, Jeremy. But let's just talk about some of the queer representation. Anybody that stood out just at the top of your head, and then we'll go through some of these fashion moments. Jeremy, who stood out to you?
I mean, of course, Heated Rivalry was incredible.
Coleman Domingo looks like $1 million bucks. And
amazing.
Describe what the Heated Rivalry guys were wearing.
They both definitely have chiffon tops on, which I love. I know that the one that what's his name? Ilya is wearing, Rosanov, is the newest YSL runway look from their recent show. And then I just love the other look that has like a chiffon like cape attached to the back.
Yes, and he pulls it off.
They both just look like expensive and sexy, and they look amazing together. And then I really just love all of these looks, but Coleman Domingo's is a really beautiful suit too.
I'm going to pull out. It's not. Who did you say that the chiffon Connor's wearing?
Oh yeah, I called him Ilya, and then Hudson.
It's Saint Laurent, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to pull out my rough skin version of this, which is a lot cheaper, and try and pull this off for something down the road. But I think they look so good and pulled it off. Coleman Domingo looks like $1 million bucks. And the trend right now is men with brooches, which I'm always been a brooch fan. And a little tip on that, if just go to any vintage store in your neck of the woods, particularly if you're in remote areas, because people give away stuff that they don't even know what it is, and you'll find the coolest brooches.
Yeah,
Slap that
definitely.
on. It just makes its signature. It makes a regular jacket suit come alive. And I just think it's. Do you like that trend, Jeremy?
Yes, I love it. I like that it has a little sparkle on an outfit. It's like the perfect amount of sparkle, and it's not too over the top, but it really makes it special.
Yeah, because you can't really wear a lot of jewelry other than maybe a watch. And so you're just looking at the suit often. So this just gives that a little pop, and it's really
The
nice.
other actor from Heated Rivalry looks amazing too. I love that little Cartier sparkly brooch that he has on his shirt.
Yes, really good.
Are you
Okay.
talking about Francois Arnaud?
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like he has a motorcycle jacket on or something like that?
Ooh, Francois' look to me was a little baggy for me, I thought.
Yeah, I don't
I
know. I
kind of
don't
like
like
it.
it
I
that
mean,
much.
I thought it
think
was
looks
ill-fitted. It didn't give him like he got such an amazing body and so handsome, and I thought it was too much material and there was no waist. And did you feel that way, Cody?
I thought this is the Oscars. This is not Oscar attire, in my opinion. It's not the
Well,
There was
Grammy
some
school.
the oversized outfit that they show is the after party. So that's
okay. Okay, that's the
Oh,
one. Okay, yeah, I didn't
okay.
like that,
for
but
the outfit.
Okay.
yeah. The funny thing is, the after party you're supposed to
Ah,
go a little more skimpy, but that's funny. What do we, Cody? Pedro Pascal, freshly clean shaven with that beautiful shirt with that. I mean, he got the memo. Feathers, and not many men were wearing feathers, but I think he pulled it off. He looks so young and fresh.
yeah. We were saying his face is always a 10. I do wish he had like a vest or something that's cut out in the chest area. I don't know, just a little something to
I
give it a
agree.
little,
Yeah.
pull it in a little bit. I don't know, but he looks amazing.
Okay, well, there was a little bit. This just came through because Connor Storrie was leaving the Vanity Fair party and was seen with none other than Troye Sivan, and gay Twitter has gone crazy. They're both seen on the phone, allegedly probably talking to their drivers, like, "Hey, I'm over here. Oh, I'm over here." I wish I could be in that moment, right? Just to talk to my driver amongst a sea of other people. But usually it's a Honda Civic I'm trying to flag down. But theirs was so cool, and people are going, "Are Troy and Connor, are they going home somewhere?" A lot of people said, "Oh, come on, everybody. They're just, met and they're just being friendly." And people have said that. But what did you think of this, Jeremy, of a possible connect?
I love it. I think it's so fun.
Me
And I'm
too.
sure that even if they aren't like love interests for each other, I'm sure that they would make great friends as well. So I think it's juicy and I love it.
It's good press too, because both
Yeah,
of them have
for
good.
both of them.
Troy just came off of like, a major tour and is like hot. And of course, the other one, Connor, is super hot. I think it works. What do you say to this? Even if it's not true, Cody.
I don't know why he's trying to take my man, Troye Sivan. Meet me outside, okay?
That Troy always comes in, right?
No, I think this is fun. I think that they probably met and enjoyed each other's company, and it's good for them.
I love it. Okay, well, the other story that we were covering last year had to do with Lil Nas X, who, if you remember, he was coming out with an album and scrapped it, and things went awry when he was seen walking down in the valley of all places with none other than a cowboy hat and his underwear and cowboy boots, and seemed to be a little off. And apparently, the police came. It was in the wee hours in the morning, and he is charged with a battery case because he launched towards a police officer, something you never want to do, even if you
Yeah.
are innocent. And I might add, black, don't throw that into the mix. But he has been seeking help, and the 26-year-old appeared in court in Van Nuys, where it all went down this past Thursday, with his lawyer. His legal team asked a judge for a short delay to allow them to file a motion to transfer his case to an unspecified diversion program. A diversion program is a pre-trial agreement that generally consists of rehab, community service, or counseling in exchange for a defendant avoiding immediate prosecution, a formal felony conviction, or jail time. So he's going to go back April 6th, but he wanted all his fans to know that I really love and miss you, and I appreciate your support, and I can't wait to be back hugging you guys again. I mean, I feel like with not having any record of this, that they should allow him to do this, not have to serve jail time for because, assaulting a police officer is never good at any time. But given that what they're putting forth, rehab, community service, Jeremy, what do you say? First time felony.
I agree. I think that is fine, as far as it's a slap on the wrist to make sure that he understands the consequences, but it's not exactly jail time. And I agree with that.
Yeah. Cody?
Yeah, I'm on the same page. Heart, thoughts and prayers to him because, hope he's doing well.
Okay. And then are Scott and Kip getting their own heated rivalry spinoff? They're the other couple, right? That's in the show. And there's rumors, nothing's at all been confirmed. We're not even going to get season 2 of Heated Rivalry until April 2027. So like almost a year from now, we're not going to get that. But when asked, both actors, where are we going to see the characters Scott and Kip, or as the internet likes to call them, Skip? I love that. It's so cute. Are they going to get, and they both heard rumors of maybe a 3-episode arc that would just focus on them. Would you watch this, Jeremy?
Of course I would. I loved their part of it, and I felt like it ended too soon. I mean, they had a really amazing climax of their scene on the hockey rink, like at the ending of winning that game, but I feel like we need more.
Yeah, I would totally. And this, it's worth posting this article on our Tags Patreon community, patreon.com/Tags podcast, because they have the clip of the moment when it's Kip and who's the other one? I just mentioned it.
Scott.
When Scott and he's on the ice ring and invites Kip down to the ice ring, and just that moment, I relived it. They have it cut down to just that whole moment, and it's so I just relived it again. You can just get that moment. I mean, it gives me chills. I loved it.
It was so amazing that his parents see it on TV while they're watching,
and their mouths are all open.
Yeah.
And then the other two are calling each other. And then when ultimately Ilya says,
I'm coming to the cottage.
I'll meet you at the cottage. I'm coming to the cottage, which I love. Watching just that you can now just watch that moment again. Just watch it by yourself. Indulge yourself. It's really good. I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, people are talking about Pride because it's coming up, and WeHo, West Hollywood, LA, is often at the epicenter of their Pride celebration. And this year is going to be headlined by the Pussycat Dolls, y'all. I mean, they're coming back together, wow. Jade and Ava Max, but they just announced their lineup. They sell tickets to this one, but it's including, aside from who I listed, Ashley Simpson, Confidence Man, Flo, a live DJ set from Melanie C, Blue Man Group, okay, Hercules and Love Affair. I know, right? Hercules and Love Affair. I mean, it goes on and on of a lot of people. The Real Housewives of New York, Countess Luann. Okay, wow. But I mean, tickets go on sale soon. But that comes as the Pussycat Dolls just announced the reunion, minus one of the dolls. But they've had a lot of controversy throughout the years, but they're going on a major tour, the PCD Forever tour. And I'm not saying I need to go to it, but I did hear their first single that they just rolled out. It's actually pretty good. And I mean, I'm not here for it. I'm here for it, actually. What do you say, Jeremy, to Pussycat Dolls and WeHo Pride lineup?
I think it sounds like a lot of fun. And if I was going to go to it, I would be excited. And I mean, that lineup sounds like a hot mess smattering of people, but it sounds like a blast at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, this all comes, Cody, with the Pussycat Dolls reunited minus one of their members, right? And that's always
Melody,
kind of
I think.
dicey. What's her name?
Melody. And I thought it was
Melody.
only 3 of them.
Yeah, right. So they're minus Melody.
I thought there was 5 in the original.
Maybe
I
there's
don't know.
maybe there's another one that we didn't know, but
Oh.
Nicole is at the helm of it, of course.
Yes,
And you know how much I love Nicole. But I didn't realize that back in the day, she kind of threw some shade because basically she said that she's sang 95% of the album.
Well, I figured that.
I know, but and she was backed up by producers that basically said, yeah, she did. And I believe it because her voice.
I have ears.
She's so good. And so, but apparently they managed to get back together, Cody, and they're going on this tour. What do you say to this?
Okay, they're a fun group. They've always been a fun group. And you know what? I'm always here for a bit of nostalgia.
I love it. I love it. Very, very
diplomatic. Miss New York.
Yeah.
That girl, I'm not checking for that girl. If she comes and I see her, then
I'm not going. I remember
she's an amazing voice.
She does, and I remember
love to see her.
I love her. I'm not the biggest Pussycat Dolls fan, and I don't need to go to this tour, but happy for them. Always great. But I remember years ago, my sister and I worked filming behind the scenes of Macy's Passport, and they were going to perform. And this is at the height of their, stardom. And we got to witness them rehearse. And they were, of course, because most of their shows, like a lot of dancing as well as singing, and they were stretching. And Nicole had like a serious back issue, but we were so impressed with her because she was in serious pain, but she pulled it together and she was very nice. And that was the other cool thing too. So, nice. I mean, and they were fierce and I loved it. Well, somebody else that's going to have a tour in Vegas, I'm not sure you know him, Jeremy, but Boy George from the Culture Club back in the day is going. Do you know Boy George and the Culture Club?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Thank you. He got into a little bit recently because Chappell Roan was filming. She basically was, I think, at Fashion Week, and she was filming paparazzi that she felt were bothering her. And she started to take it to her fans and say, look, they're bothering me. And she started filming the paparazzi filming her and saying, look, this is what I go through, and made a big thing about it. Well, Boy George basically said, relax, not relax, but this is part of fandom. I used to feel this way too, but you worry more when you don't get this. A lot of people came for Boy George and said, oh, of course, a woman, you have to say relax. And, I was kind of on Boy George's side though, because I think he basically said, cheer up. It's, maybe it could come across as a little patronizing, especially to a woman, but he is a gay man. And he was in a recent interview on Queerty and talking about, I used to think that people filming me while I was performing was such an invasive and like, why do they have their phones? Now I want them to film me because it's how my show gets viral. And so he, what do you think about the controversy, Jeremy? And he's now, has a Vegas show.
I'm kind of glad he spoke up. I mean, I feel like I do like her and I like her music a lot, but I feel like at the same time she does need to check herself. And I've seen a bunch of like just little social interactions of her with people, and it's very unfavorable. And I don't know if, because has this like chip on her shoulder, if she's going to end up sizzling out and not last very long. Because I mean, if this is all happening and she hasn't been famous for like 10 years or 20 years, it's like, it's the first year that she's been like winning awards and been at the ceremonies and things. I'm like, you need to chill out. And I think he's totally
I agree with you because I feel like you're in your like sophomore year of all this, and that's usually, I'll never forget, of course we love Madonna, and she just embraced the second year, and there's this famous interview that I think I've talked about before where they're interviewing her. Oh, you have another single from the first album, Lucky Star. She's like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I have a new album coming out, but I guess I can talk about it because they're still playing that. And now it's delayed the release of my second album, but okay. And it's so like cocky and bitchy, but it's like, that's what you want. You asked for this. And also, why stay out there filming people and cause more attention? Just, take note from, Anna Wintour last night was on doing this for years, and just put on those dark glasses and storm into a club or wherever you're going. Don't start challenging. You'll never look good, I think. And so what do you think? Yeah. What do you think?
A lot kinder to people and like to fans and stuff like that.
Yeah. What do you say, Cody?
I think get invasive for sure. So she probably should. I agree. This is part of the world that she has, come
signed
into.
up for.
Exactly, and I think that this is something that I am a person that wants to be a musician. I know that that's part and parcel of that whole career. So there's a part that says take it in stride, but there's also a part of me that says, maybe some things can change because people have died because of the paparazzi. So I can see how there could be changes that could be made. So I see both sides, honestly. Again, with a diplomatic answer, who am I today? I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I do think she needs to get over herself a little bit, and but yeah. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Could do this all night. But we've got to get back to our own lives here. You can always follow my co-host. You can follow Jeremy on the gram at J. Ross Lopez, at J. Ross Lopez. Follow Cody on Blue Sky and the gram at Mr. Maurice. Don't forget to get you have a music video coming out from this soon. Don't forget his EP, Thing of Beauty, out now wherever you get your music. Follow me on the gram. I am _Steve V. And in the meantime, continue having hot gay sex. Lovely.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.